Yeah, Bad Shepherds. Well, Adrian Edmondson, Bad Shepherds, a bit of a mouthful, really, isn't it?
Yeah. We call ourselves the Bad Shepherds.
Yeah, exactly.
Just promoters that call us Adrian Edmondson the Bad Shepherds.
Well, was it Bearded Theory this year? Yeah, the Bearded Theory this year. You just said this is Troy and Andy, and I'm the twat off the telly.
Yeah, that's about it.
People recognise you, obviously. Yeah. Part of the guest editor spot for a week on Spiral Earth. Really, I just like to find out how, because was it 3 years now, is it?
We had our anniversary in Flanders.
Yeah,
Flanders,
we did, yeah.
Yeah, we were
July
at
the
the front.
20-something.
Yeah.
Does it feel like 3 years?
No, not at all. No, it feels
I think it feels like we've been going for forever.
It's weird, though. It's a weird thing. I don't know.
I mean that in a boring way.
No, I know what you mean, but at the moment, standing here right now, it doesn't feel like 3 years.
Did you intend it to be a long, ongoing thing?
No, did we?
No, it was all a kind of.
An experiment.
Still is a kind of experimental hobby.
Yeah, experimental idea.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise it would go for 3 years, which it has. So, yeah.
You don't seem to treat it like a hobby. I mean, there's a lot of festivals each year. So, the tours
Yeah, but we
you do
like
are
playing
long.
them. That's
We
what
do.
we like doing. That's our hobby. Our hobby is playing festivals.
Yeah, it's fab. We love
We
festivals.
like to come along a bit early, have
Yeah.
a bit of a womble about.
Do you
Look at stuff.
actually get to do that, or do you end up coming in and shooting out?
No, we've just been for a womble now, looked at a few things. Been in the comedy tent, we looked at the blockheads,
Yeah.
looked at Jackie Ace before. The guys on at the minute sound very cross about something.
They are very
Right?
cross.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very annoyed.
You've got to follow this up, though, haven't you? Later
Are
on.
we following them?
Yeah, we're on next.
Piece of piss.
We can be much
Do
crosser.
anger, yeah. And the second album as well. Which is still,
Yeah, Hook by Crook. Yeah. Which we're very pleased with.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 out.
How do you go about picking those songs, though? Because there's a big repertoire of songs you could pick from out there. Do you have a fight about it? Or?
We just pick the best ones. I mean, I pick the majority of them, don't I? I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Ed's got a really good knowledge of of that genre, So most of them were, but there is a kind of criteria in that they've got to fit our personality, what our musical personality and what we do. So there's a lot of songs that would be seen as classic punk that we wouldn't go near because they just don't suit us, as for what we do.
We can't do anything by the Damned.
No.
Not because we don't like them particularly, just songs that their lyrics are actually quite childish. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, true, yeah.
I mean they're teenage.
Yeah.
They sound a bit stupid.
That's
coming out of my
handy.
voice. That's my van.
That is your van.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's quite modest as a tour van.
Oh yeah, that's the power of what we're up to, you see, because we can just float all over the place and we don't get much hassle. We haven't got loads of backline, loads of gear. We just get our gear out, do the gig, and then we jump back in the van and bugger off. It's great. It's really good.
Well, I did just see, I think it's Dave Brock out of Hawkwind turn up with about a 25-foot big
there
camper,
we
Winnebago
We
kind
like
of
to
thing.
But will it
avoid
make
that.
him sound any better?
Of course it won't.
Darren, you might have to interview him. But yeah, I mean, it must be great actually going back and thinking all those songs that meant so much to you years back, and you can now. But I mean, how do you go about your arrangements? I mean, how does it work out as a trio? Or
Well, that's when the way it's been done since day one is, again, it's finding the right material, and getting the right feel for the material. Deconstructing it and turning it inside out. Is the main thing to do. Is to really reinvent the song. So that just kind of comes naturally once we get the atmosphere of what the song should be, and it just
Sometimes it doesn't work. We try things that don't work.
Yeah, we scrapped loads of stuff. Loads of stuff.
I remember making plans for Nigel. Worked at the very last minute. We'd been doing it for about 2 days.
We did.
I'm thinking
What
there
was
was
the other one
nothing in
we
it.
tried to do and we couldn't get it together at all?
Gary Gilmore's Eyes.
We couldn't. We did that. We did that on tour, but we couldn't get it to work. So it's just some things do and some things don't.
Yeah.
But we're doing White Riot at the moment. It's kind of took what the original idea is. It's a whole new world for us. Yeah, because it's
the most fused
it is
concept we've done, isn't it?
definitely definitely.
I'd take that back to the dealership.
Tell them to turn their bass down.
Yes.
Don't they have tone control?
The new album, I mean, that struck me. It's quite looser than the first one. I don't know.
Yeah,
the
it's a lot
feeling.
more considered, isn't it? I think. Yeah. I mean, the first one we did very quickly, very early.
Yeah, we did.
And very poorly.
Had you got that out before you booked the tour?
No, it was pretty much after we started, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Ideally, we'd like to completely scrap it and re-record the whole album, you know.
Well, we're thinking of doing a live album
Yeah.
and covering the best things out of that.
Yeah.
So that we can.
Yeah, well, it's very candid to say that, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people love it, and that's great, you know.
It's not all shit.
No, it's
No,
not.
no.
But we would
it's-
approach it differently
yeah.
now. I mean, at the time, it was, you know, it'd be great to have an album out there and people can hear what we're up to. But
just something to promote ourselves.
to promote
with,
ourselves
rather than
with,
as an
yeah.
album, then it became an album, as it was.
That's right.
So it was.
But no, we're not really happy with it, really.
But it seems logical a third one should be a live album, because that seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's kind of what we are, really.
Yeah.
A live band.
I think people are quite shocked when this year's live.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually play.
Well, because there's only 3 of us and we make quite a racket.
Quite a din,
you know,
yeah. A glorious racket.
But I'd say a lot of people that don't know you, they sit there and think, hang on, I know that song. And you sort of see,
Yeah.
you start playing and then more people come down.
That's why we love doing festivals mostly, because people think we're a novelty act. And,
Yeah, they do.
And
They do.
we're going to be a funny band.
Yeah.
And it says they're not all that keen to come and see us in an ordinary venue because they're not sure it's worth the money.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's
at a
right.
festival, you see them come in the first number, thinking,
Yeah.
let's see what this is then.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
then you see their little faces.
I know, it's brilliant. That's the lovely thing
And
is,
then they start nodding.
yeah, I love it when we get past the idea of what they think we are, you know, their preconceived notion about what we are. And obviously because of aid, they think, people think, you know, what is it, a comedy thing or what is it? And then they shut up, you know, once we've kicked in.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes something really powerful and musical, you know, and it's a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing.
And it's catch-22 because your name is a big draw, so not having it on there would be...
But it doesn't matter though. That's the great thing about it is we've transcended that.
Yeah.
And it's similar with, you know, when people come to see us as musicians from other things, they go, "What you doing? What you doing there?" And then they come and they go, "Fuck, that was great." You know, we know why you're doing it now. Because
That's our plan and we're stuck with it.
that's our plan and we're stuck with it.
It's actually been quite freeing for you as musicians, though, doing this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't expected. You know, it wasn't. As I say, it was when me and Ed first talked about it, just before Andy joined. It was totally experimental. We thought, wouldn't it be great? Oh yeah. What about that? What about this? And we thought, yeah, let's go have a go. And we met up and we had a playthrough and we realised it would work.
Yeah, it was about an hour, but before you realise it was
That's
pretty
right,
kind
it
of
didn't take long.
pretty kind of simply
Didn't
going to
take
work.
long. And then we were kind of plunged straight into working with it. You know, straight in.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have that long. We were in the Bahamas, in the Caribbean, and we had 4 songs.
Yeah.
And we were doing gigs.
Yeah, it was a good thing to do. We went over there
Yeah, it
because
was.
it was kind of anonymous, and we had a gig a night in a different bar.
Yeah.
And
Nobody knew
we didn't have any material, and we just had to spend all day in the hotel room working it out.
Yeah, which is what we did. Sat in hotel rooms, working new stuff out.
Yeah.
Totally on the fly, and really basic and
I
half
remember
baked.
the first time we did Rise. That's when I thought this is gonna work.
It's just
You know.
one of our favourites, Rise.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful thing. But yeah, so we went over there with 3 songs, and we came back with a set.
Yeah.
And then went straight into a tour, basically.
More or less.
Because it was pretty quick from being, all appearing and being announced.
Yeah.
It was like tour booked and you're off.
It was amazing, really.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, we kind of worked at it, didn't we? You know.
Well, we did, yeah.
I think if you got a good idea, you might as well do it.
Well, yeah.
No point sitting home pretending
No.
you're going to wait
Well, yeah,
for something else to
we
happen.
We didn't go into it lightly, but it never was from day one meant to be a jokey affair or a pastiche. It wasn't supposed to be like Hey See Dixie or anything like that. We wanted it to be a serious address of these songs, these cracking songs that we thought would be great to be reinvented.
They are some of the best songs.
Yeah, they're
They
brilliant.
really are. I mean, lyrically, people think punk's all jumping up and down, spitting and swearing, but it's
Well, that's right.
they're amazingly powerful lyrics. I
They
think.
are, and Tube Station. When we do that was the one that kind of crossed us over into credibility in the folk scene. a bit, you know, in that.
This is a classic folk ballad, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because it is. It's a folk ballad, and people had never really heard the lyrics before. They'd never focused on them until, I mean, you know, we just stripped it down and did it as we do it. You know, people focused on it and the way Ed sings it, and off we went. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, they're not a joke band. You know, they're actually quite good.
And we did Glastonbury, and we had CJ Carroll from the members come on stage with us while we did the Sound of the Suburbs, which he wrote, and he played the accordion. And he said afterwards, he said that's kind of what we meant.
Yeah.
It's just that when we performed it, we were very young and wanted to shag a lot of girls,
Yeah.
so we jumped up and down and gave it too much energy. You know.